The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Chapter 18. Away to the South. Dorothy cried sadly because her chance to go home to Kansas was gone. But after she thought about it, she was glad she had not gone up in the balloon. She was also very sorry that Oz was gone, and her friends felt the same. The Tin Woodman came to her and said, "I would be ungrateful if I did not feel sad for the man who gave me my lovely heart. I want to cry a little because Oz is gone. But please, wipe my tears away so I will not rust." "With pleasure," said Dorothy, and she quickly brought a towel. The Tin Woodman cried for several minutes, and Dorothy carefully wiped away each tear with the towel. Now the Scarecrow became the ruler of the Emerald City. Even though he was not a real wizard, the people were very proud of him. No other city in the world, they said, has a ruler made of straw. And as far as anyone knew, they were right.
We have a new leader.
The morning after the balloon went up with Oz, the four friends met in the throne room to talk about what to do next. The Scarecrow sat in the big throne, and the others stood before him with respect. "We are not so unlucky," said the new ruler. "This palace and the Emerald City belong to us now, and we can live here as we like. When I think that not long ago I was hanging on a pole in a farmer's field, and now I am the ruler of this beautiful city, I feel quite happy with my life." "I am also very happy," said the Tin Woodman. "I love my new heart, and it was the only thing I ever wanted in the whole world. As for me," said the Lion quietly, "I am content because I know I am as brave as any animal that ever lived, maybe even braver." "If Dorothy were happy to live in the Emerald City," said the Scarecrow, "then we could all be happy together." "But I don't want to live here," cried Dorothy. "I want to go to Kansas and stay with Aunt Em and Uncle Henry." "Well then, what can we do about it?" asked the Tin Woodman. The Scarecrow began to think very hard, and he thought so much that the pins and needles in his head started to stick out. At last he said, "Why don't you call the winged monkeys and ask them to carry you over the desert?" "I never thought of that," said Dorothy happily. "That's a wonderful idea. I'll go get the golden cap right now." She ran to get it and brought it into the throne room. Then she said the magic words, and soon the winged monkeys flew in through the open window and stood beside her. "This is the second time you have called us," said the King of the Monkeys, bowing before Dorothy. "What do you want us to do?" "I want you to fly with me to Kansas," said Dorothy. But the Monkey King shook his head. "That cannot be done," he said. "We can only live in this country. We cannot go beyond it. No winged monkey has ever been in Kansas, and I don't think there ever will be one, because we don't belong there. We will gladly help you in any other way we can, but we cannot cross the desert. Goodbye." Then the Monkey King bowed again, spread his wings, and flew out of the window with all his monkeys following behind. Dorothy felt so disappointed that she was almost ready to cry. "I used the magic of the golden cap for nothing," she said sadly. "The winged monkeys cannot help me at all. That is really too bad." said the kind Tin Woodman. The Scarecrow began to think again, and his head bulged out so much that Dorothy was afraid it might burst. "Let's call the soldier with the green whiskers," he said, "and ask him what he thinks." So they called the soldier. He came into the throne room very carefully, because when Oz was alive, he was never allowed to go past the door. "This little girl," said the Scarecrow to the soldier, "wants to cross the desert. How can she do that?" "I don't know," said the soldier. "No one has ever crossed the desert, except maybe Oz himself." "Isn't there anyone who can help me?" asked Dorothy hopefully. "Maybe Glinda can," said the soldier. "Who is Glinda?" asked the Scarecrow. "She is the Witch of the South," said the soldier. "She is the strongest of all the witches and rules over the Quadlings. Her castle is at the edge of the desert, so she might know how to cross it." "Glinda is a good witch, isn't she?" asked Dorothy. "The Quadlings believe she is good," said the soldier. "She is kind to everyone. I have also heard that Glinda is very beautiful and somehow stays young, even though she has lived for many years." "How can I get to her castle?" asked Dorothy. "The road goes straight to the south," said the soldier. "But it is said to be very dangerous. There are wild animals in the forests and strange people who do not like strangers to enter their land. That is why the Quadlings never come to the Emerald City." Then the soldier bowed and left them, and the Scarecrow said, "It seems that, even though it's dangerous, the best thing for Dorothy is to go to the land of the South and ask Glinda to help her." Said the Scarecrow, "If she stays here, she will never get back to Kansas." "You must have been thinking again," said the Tin Woodman with a smile. "I have," said the Scarecrow. "I will go with Dorothy." Said the Lion, "I'm tired of the city and want to live in the woods again. I'm really a wild animal, you know. And besides, Dorothy will need someone to keep her safe." "That's true," said the Tin Woodman. "My axe might help her too, so I will go with her to the land of the South." "When shall we start?" asked the Scarecrow.
When should we start?
"Are you coming with us?" they said in surprise. "Of course," said the Scarecrow. "If it weren't for Dorothy, I would never have gotten my brains. She took me down from the pole in the cornfield and brought me to the Emerald City. All my good luck came from her, so I will stay with her until she finally returns to Kansas." "Thank you," said Dorothy. "You are all so kind to me. But I would like to start as soon as we can." "We'll go tomorrow morning," said the Scarecrow. "Let's all get ready, because it will be a very long journey."